State-owned company has asked for government for a cash injection, and Denel CEO Danu du Toit says the arms company has asked for 2.8 billion rand to help it emerge from a financial crisis and secure lucrative export deals. Du Toit told Reuters he hoped the cash injection would be announced this month and that the funds would arrive in September or October. He added that Denel would not sell equity stakes to Saudi Arabia's state defense firm SAMI or SEMI, which made a $1 billion bid for a partnership last year. Treasury is not ruling out a further tax hike. It considered, however, that it will be difficult to levy these in the current economic climate. In recent months, South African taxpayers have been compelled to pay higher personal income tax, value-added tax, and several fuel levy hikes. The Treasury, during a briefing in Parliament on its annual performance plan, cited these conditions for its reluctance to impose further tax increases.
Treasury officials emphasize the tough fiscal position they are facing after the previous financial year's 15 billion rand revenue shortfall. Adding to their fiscal woes is a need to stabilize the country's ballooning debt and fiscal pressures imposed by state-owned enterprises such as Eskom, SAA, Denel, and others.
In terms of thinking about how to stabilize debt, well, we're looking at a range of options. We're thinking carefully about which areas of spending should be looked at. Are there specific areas that should be reduced, or is this more about slowing down or extending the life of large programs? Are there tax increases additional that can be considered? Certainly we think it would be very difficult in this environment, but all options are on the table.
We are staying the course. I think that's something that I think we must make sure the committee understands. We'll stay the course under the difficult circumstances. We'll ensure that we do our work effectively and efficiently and try to maintain the structure that we're in, because a weakened treasury, as you can imagine, is a weakened government system, is a weakened intergovernmental fiscal system, and finally it will really weaken our democracy as a state. So we are staying the course, and under these difficult circumstances.
The officials say the business models of most of these SOEs need to be restructured for them to return to profitability. At the same briefing, SARS Commissioner vowed to do everything in his power to achieve the revenue estimate of 1.4 trillion rand for the current financial year. Edward Kiswita says although the current economic situation and SARS internal issues will make it difficult for them to achieve this estimate, they are nevertheless still resolute in pursuing it.
It's going to be so much harder for us to achieve our revenue estimate, and given the internal challenges, which will take months, if not years, to address, makes it even so much harder. And so that's the truth. But certainly we are not, at this stage, making a revenue forecast. What will be on the Treasury website will be the revenue performance year to date, and so that's public knowledge. And after the first quarter, an official update on revenue performance versus the estimate will also be signed off by Treasury and made available to the committee and published.
On their part, legislators requested to be furnished with a report on the financial state of all parastatals. Several of these are dependent on either government bailouts or guarantees for their survival. Manilisi Tubase, SABC News, Parliament.
Well, let's now take a look at